I talked about January. There's no magical thing that happens in January in Bankland, but are there any new lending opportunities that you are seeing out there in the trenches in more of a, for example, if we went to the mortgage brokers conference tomorrow, what's all the brokers talking about at the bar or at the conference table? And you can be as vague as you want, or is there anything?
There's always something. And it's a very dynamic market that we live in, and across 40
dynamic. So
it is. So across 40 banks and lenders, they all have. The conference would be a lot more excited to talk about this. But there's a lot of things that change, and policies change, but appetite and risk changes.
Right.
So when a bank is looking for a certain type of business, and it might be a bank's looking for investor business, or they might be looking for low LVR home loans, they will make some changes. They'll pull levers to attract that business. So are there banks at the moment attracting certain type of business? Yes, there are. And they will do that by changing policies. So, if you were an investor that had, 3 or 4 properties and you got told late last year that you were definitely tapped out for borrowing, I would definitely check back in with your broker to see if that's still the case. If you were self-employed, the policies change regularly and banks change a lot. And if you were looking at, repricing your loan and there's a bank looking for, I guess.
And I'll get you to say what repricing means.
Sorry, if you were looking at renegotiating your rate and you're looking for a really sharp rate, that's really important to you. You've got a home loan, you've got more equity than before. What's the sharpest rate in the market? You will find it. Your broker will know the bank that's looking for that kind of business, and they will price it there.
I'm laughing because it reminded me of something yesterday because of this repricing thing.
Yeah.
Because I think ordinarily we see online when people are like, refinance your home loan. It's not always needed.
Don't refinance your home loan.
To get a better rate. You can go back to your lender, ask for a rate review, and that's called repricing. Is that
Yes. Yeah.
So yesterday, I got an email from my bank or lender.
Yes.
My bank or lender. And it says, hey, Glen, we have reduced. I told Ryan, I'm like, what? The bank's just reduced my interest rates? What the heck? And I sent the screenshot to my broker, Tim, from Next Move Home Loans. The only reason I don't use Rach and her team is I don't want the Sphere Home Loan office knowing all my personal information. That's the only reason why I don't use Sphere Home Loans. But I use Tim from Next Move Home Loans, and I've sent listeners there. Tim's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
And I sent him the screenshot, and I said, was this you, mortgage daddy? And he's like, which property was that? I'm like, I don't know.
It would have been him.
This is the thing. He said, I don't think we've done anything recently. It looks like it was from August last year, and that would have been us. And I'm like, weird, I just got it now. He goes, it's weird, I'll dig deeper. Seems like old news. He sent it to the BDM, was like, what the hell's going on here? And last night, he said, yeah, the BDM said it's a stuff up and it shouldn't have been sent. And then, so basically what was Bank West had an email system conniption and randomly resent emails of rate reductions. And I said, I'm like, tell them I want 3 months of no mortgage repayments.
Oh, gosh.
They probably would, but I just put it on the loan. Anyway, so I got an email this morning. Dear Mr. James, we apologise if you received a duplicate email. So there you go. Anyway, so I said to, I'm like, thanks, mortgage daddy. And he said, I'll be doing a rate review on all your loans tomorrow.
Oh, I love that. And we do reviews annually, but January.
I just wanted to say mortgage daddy live on the podcast.
I know that you did want to say that. But I think we have a team that work over the Christmas break, and they, there's not a lot of conveyances open. So the team that don't want to take leave did a whole lot of repricing over the break, and it was really good. Some of the banks just we got more of a discount than we were getting earlier in the month, and that will change all the time. But my bugbear is where people think they have to refinance. I don't like it. The refinance is not the solution. If you want to get more money out, if you want to buy an investment property, if you're doing some changes structurally, absolutely it's a refinance.
Because I think the thing here, and we hadn't planned to talk about it, but it's good that it's come up. Refinancing usually means placing the business with another lender. Yes or no?
It can be an internal refinance, but yes,
Sure.
generally yes.
But the fact is, if you refinance, that's going to, and I'm generally asking because I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Would that trigger a full application and a credit check?
It would.
Yeah. But a repricing wouldn't.
So I'll give you an example. So a safeguard that I have in place in my business is if somebody's doing a dollar for dollar refinance, which means someone's got a loan for this, they're not increasing their lending, they're just refinancing, you need to come to me with a please explain.
Oh, so your brokers need royal assent from Her Majesty
yes.
if there is a dollar for dollar refinance in your business.
Yeah, because it would shock me if the current bank wouldn't match the price. And I want to know that everything's been done.
Yeah, and why would you want to put yourself through all this heartache of paperwork and applications and an inquiry on your credit? Not that that's we're leading.
It doesn't
life
really
with that.
matter if you get an inquiry, but why go through the pain and suffering of it? And a lot of people, when they do it, then they just extend out their loan term again and they end up paying a whole lot more interest.
And that's the tip. If you are, quote unquote, refinancing to another lender, my unsolicited advice, and Rachel's probably solicited advice, would be if you've got 21 years left on your mortgage, take that to the new lender and sure, rewrite the loan with a new lender, but set the term at 21 years.
That's right, with the exception of, and this is where people get stuck because a lot of the time that people have the intent of taking it out over 21 years, but when it actually gets to the bank's servicing calculator, it doesn't service.
Let them, yeah.
It may not let them do it. So if for some reason...
Just let them.
If for some reason you have to stretch it out...
Did you?
I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
If for some reason you've got to stretch it out to 30 years, and that's fine, you can set your repayments to the 21 years so you're not losing anything.
Yeah, but no one does, do they?
Oh, they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people really do set their repayments, especially when they're buying investment property. So you might need to stretch. You might have 10 years left on your mortgage, and then to buy an investment property, you've got to stretch your mortgage out to 30 years again. And when you explain that to someone, it's really hard because they're like, no, I'm not paying my mortgage. You don't want them to either, but you just set the repayments up when the mortgage documents come up and it says, what repayments do you want to do? We actually set it there to be 10 years. And you can do whatever you like, but you're not contractually obligated then to pay it over 10 years. So that's about your psychology of where you think you'll call the bank and change it.
Yeah. So if you think that you want to get a better rate, go back to your mortgage mummy or daddy.
Yes, and get them to reprice it. You know, the retentions teams of the banks are working so hard to keep business. It's a lot cheaper to keep existing business than to go and get new business. So in my experience, they're matching what we're putting in front of them. We're doing a lot of reprices and nearly no dollar-for-dollar refinances.
Well, there you go. And I'm probably regretting mentioning Tim from Next Move Home Loans because his email inbox might blow up. That's why we fierce support the show, because Rach has multiple brokers and capacity.
Yeah.
Where Tim doesn't have 15 brokers working for him.
But he's very good.
He's very good. But go to Sphere or Tim, whatever, don't care. Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.